Okay, so have you ever felt like you're working hard, but just can't seem to get ahead financially?
Mm.
Like maybe there's some secret to building wealth
Right.
that everyone else knows but you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, today we're diving into a popular YouTube video,
Okay.
and it's titled Three Things Not to Do Until You're Rich
Interesting.
by Mark Tilbury.
Okay.
So let's see if his advice holds water and if we can glean any
Sure.
actionable tips from this.
Yeah, I'm always interested in exploring different perspectives on personal finance.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Yeah.
So Tilbury's first point
Okay.
is about avoiding a luxury lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
until you're actually wealthy.
Right.
So he's talking fancy dinners, designer clothes, extravagant vacations, the whole nine yards.
All right.
He claims that kind of spending keeps you poor.
I see.
Instead, he suggests investing in assets,
Okay.
like stocks or real estate.
Yeah,
Makes sense, right?
absolutely. The core concept here is understanding the difference between assets and liabilities.
Right.
Assets like a house or stocks generally appreciate in value over time.
Mm-hmm.
Liabilities like a flashy car or that expensive designer bag typically lose value.
Okay, so let's say I'm saving up for a down payment on a house.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean I can't even buy a new coffee maker
Right.
until I'm a homeowner?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the line
Yeah.
between being responsible and, actually enjoying life?
It's all about finding a balance. Delaying gratification is key,
Right.
but it doesn't mean living a life devoid of any pleasure.
Right.
Imagine you invest $50 a week in a diversified stock portfolio
Oh.
over 20 years with compounding returns that could grow to a significant sum.
Right.
That same money spent on weekly lattes might bring momentary joy,
Yeah.
but won't contribute to your long-term financial goals.
I see your point.
Yeah.
It's like I might really want that fancy coffee every day.
Yeah.
But do I need it to be happy?
Exactly.
Probably not. What about Tilbury's next point?
Okay.
He gets pretty intense about cars,
Uh-huh.
calling an expensive one the #1 wealth killer.
He's definitely dramatic. But there's truth in his statement.
Okay.
Cars are notorious for depreciating quickly. A brand new car loses a huge chunk of its value the moment you drive it off the lot.
Yeah, so is he suggesting we all drive beat-up clunkers?
Well,
I get being frugal, but there's got to be a middle ground
Yeah.
between a Lamborghini and a car held together by duct tape, right?
of course, safety and reliability should never be compromised.
Right.
A well-maintained used car can provide reliable transportation without breaking the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, think of the insurance savings.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm also curious about the argument that
Okay.
a nice car can help you project an image of success,
Mm-hmm.
especially in certain industries.
Right.
Could that be considered an investment in a way?
Image can be important, but it's a tricky area.
Yeah.
True success is built on financial stability, not a shiny facade.
Okay.
Imagine two entrepreneurs. One drives a flashy car but is drowning in debt.
Mm.
The other drives a modest car but has a solid financial foundation. Right.
Who are you more likely to trust with a business deal?
Definitely the one with a solid financial foundation.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, on to Tilbury's last point.
All right. Oh.
He says you should never lend money to friends or family.
Mm.
Only give it as a gift that seems
Yeah.
harsh.
Lending money to loved ones can be fraught with complications.
Right.
It can strain relationships, especially if repayment terms aren't clearly defined.
Yeah.
Imagine lending a significant sum to a friend and then having to constantly chase them for repayments.
Oh, yeah.
It can create resentment and damage the friendship.
So he's saying if you're going to help, just assume you'll never see that money again.
It's about setting clear expectations from the start.
Okay.
If you're comfortable giving a certain amount as a gift, that's great.
Right.
But if you lend money expecting repayment, make sure to put everything in writing to avoid misunderstandings and potential conflict down the line.
What if someone is truly struggling and you genuinely want to support them?
But can't afford to just give away a large sum.
There are other ways to help.
Okay?
You could offer a smaller gift,
Yeah.
help them create a budget, or connect them with resources like financial counseling services.
Right.
Sometimes offering guidance and support can be more valuable than a loan.
This is a great reminder that even with good intentions, mixing money and personal relationships requires careful consideration.
Absolutely.
So we've covered Tilbury's 3 big don'ts on the path to financial success. Avoid a luxury lifestyle before you can truly afford it.
Right.
Skip the expensive car.
Yeah.
And think twice before lending money to loved ones.
That's right.
Makes you think.
Tilbury offers some thought-provoking points.
He does.
But remember, personal finance is personal.
Yeah.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Right.
The key is to be mindful of your spending, align it with your values, and make choices that support your long-term financial well-being.
Absolutely. And for you listening, what resonated with you most from Tilbury's advice?
Yeah.
What are your personal must-haves versus nice-to-haves?
Good question.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.